Hello boaters, welcome to Narrowboat Journeys. My name is Phil and I've lived aboard my narrowboat on the canal system for over 30 years. I share my home with my two cats, Bushka and Midge, and we spend our days travelling around the canal system and making videos. Today we're on the Macclesfield canal and we're starting near higher Poynton and we'll be heading south in the direction of Bollington, but we're not going quite that far. We'll be stopping on the northern edge of Bollington near Whiteley Green. So let's have a look at the map. So this is a very simple trip. We're starting at the yellow marker at the top of the screen, then boating on down the canal to the yellow marker nearer the bottom of the screen. It's just a very rural stretch of canal. There's nothing much in between. It's just countryside and some pretty bridges, but it's a pleasant trip all the same. As you can see, it's autumn now and the weather is not very good and the lighting is quite bad because I'm heading generally south. The towpath is very busy on this canal and there are a lot of public footpaths, and so you get an awful lot of walkers. These people heading left and they're heading towards Lime Park. That's a really lovely place to walk around. And just on the side of this bridge here, look, you can see the remains of a swing bridge. You can't see much from the canal, but we're just about to go over an aqueduct. There's a road that goes underneath the canal. There's steps leading down to it. You can just see the road, and that's about all we get to see from here. And of course, boating in the autumn means that there'll be leaves in the canal, and that means leaves on the propeller as well, so I've got to keep putting the engine briefly into reverse to shake off the leaves. It's surprising how much they slow you down, and some places the leaves are so thick that you really just have to give up. But not too bad today, but I did have to clear the prop quite frequently. We're now approaching Limeview Marina, which is over on our left, and it's quite big. There's a lot of boats here. There's a fair number of boats moored along the edge of the canal, but there's also large basins over to the left as well. There must be hundreds of boats in there. On the right there are a couple of fishermen, and it really is their job to get their rods out of the way. There's not much that I can do. Fortunately, most of them are friendly, and we usually manage to pass without incident, although it's not totally unheard of. My camera's a bit too low to see this properly, but we do get a glimpse of many moored boats in the basin. The bow camera has a very clear and unobstructed view of what's ahead. My view from the other end of the boat is not really quite as good. I don't know what breed of sheep these are, but there's quite a few of them. It might not be easy to see, but this boat up ahead has just had to swerve around a large, low overhanging branch. That's getting in the way a bit. I hope they trim that back this winter. And here it is. When I was on the Llangollen Canal last summer, then a large overhanging branch swept my sack trolley off my roof, and it very nearly smashed my window. It put a big scratch in it, so you have to be very careful about these branches. This one's quite tiny, but it could still grab stuff off your roof and cause damage. If you look very closely along here, you might see lots of little yellow things floating in the canal. And I wondered what they were to start with, but I found out they were apples, little crab apples dropped off a tree. There were hundreds of them. And there's the apple tree. Don't know if you can see that clearly, but there's still quite a lot of apples left on it. And now we're just approaching Whiteley Green. There's nothing much here, but there is a pub just a short distance down the road called the Windmill. I was moored here 20 years ago on my last trip to the Macclesfield canal, and there weren't any coal boats then, and I ordered a delivery of coal, and the lorry turned up. They parked in a little car park which is by the bridge, and then this enormous man carried 4 bags of coal at once. He had 2 in each hand. He was carrying them like they were bags of shopping, and he was amazingly strong. I mean, I struggle with 1 bag. When he got to my boat, he knocked on the door so hard it sounded like the door was going to break. He just didn't know his own strength. I'm afraid there won't be any cats at the end of this video because the battery has run out on my other camera, but we'll see them another time. I do believe the sun is coming out. Now the place I'm going to moor up is just up ahead here, just by these moored boats. Before that there's a winding hole, and then there's a lovely stretch of moorings which has got, it's really good because it's open, it's good for solar charging, so this is an ideal spot. Bollington is just a short distance on from here, it's not far. It's a popular place though. Will I find a mooring spot? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. In the next video my journey will continue, so until then I'll see you next time.